What's going on, guys? So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to optimize your agents for the fastest response times, how to make dynamic and transient outbound assistance, and also how to link it all through Go High Level animations and make, and also how to prompt and do different things like that. So for the make and Go High Level automations that we're going to be going over, it's for a ton of use cases. I use form submissions, so we're getting leads in and we're creating that outbound call out. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned, and I'm going to be going over the full process on how to do that step by step. I'm also going to be showing you the automations on how to create an outbound agent from Go High Level opt-ins and different use cases inside there. So if you are using Go High Level for your CRM, don't worry, I show you how to integrate with it in this video. So I'm going to kind of go over the process right here and kind of what you need to do and the steps we're going to take. So outbound calling and inbound calling. In Vapi, you can create a dynamic assistant. Now, within the reference that we're going to do today, to actually make the phone call or the outbound call, we need to create a JSON body. Now, the dynamic assistants are in here and they can be easily translated into JSON code to where we can put that in to make a lot more easier. So during these calls, we're actually collecting the function calls, which are behind the calls as well. And we're doing the post call reports. But I first want to go off of how to actually optimize your agents for the fastest response time. So we're going to be going over kind of everything you need to know to, lower this latency. So it starts off with the voice provider that you're choosing. 11 Labs is the most realistic voice provider, but if you go with Vapi.ai or Azure, you will get less latency. Now, they do sound a lot less realistic, but they are good options and they still sound very, very good. But it decreases the latency, so that is why we're picking with Vapi.ai, and I'm going to choose Abby for that. So then functions, we want to collect functions within the call, but they do slow down your latency and they slow down the AI, right? But the most important thing is making sure you're having the response delay to 0 and the LLM request delay to 0. Now, when you hit publish, it's going to go back to 0.1, but that's what you want to put in the transient assistant, which we're going to be creating today. So just make sure you have everything programmed correctly and that your prompt is also programmed correctly. So now we're going to be going over how to actually create this transient assistant in Vapi reference, which will send the call and get that call. So first off, before you even do anything, you want to go and get your bearer token. So you want to go into Vapi, go down here to settings. It's going to be blurred out, but you want to get this API key right here. And then you want to paste that API key right in the authorization. Okay. So once we have that, we want to start with the object, which the max durations, I usually like to go with 300. So 300 seconds to minutes is 5 minutes, right? So that's kind of what you want to choose there. And that's the reasoning behind it. Now for the assistant ID, we want to go and grab that ID from our assistant. So you want to go here and go to the assistant that you're working with and grab the copy assistant ID, which is right there. You want to paste that. And then for assistant overrides, don't worry about that. For the model, let me just make sure that this is the right one, because the reason why we're not going to assistant overrides is because we're about to do it below. So for the model, we're going to be doing OpenAI, and we're going to be doing the assistant. And then for the content, we want to put in our script, right, or our prompt. So you want to copy that, paste that, boom, right in there. So that's the content. And then we're going to go down to provider, OpenAI, model. Now, for the model, I usually go with ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo just because that's the one that's been around the longest. It costs the less amount of money. But now with ChatGPT 4.0, we do have more features that we can do, and ChatGPT 4 is faster as well. So today we're going to actually try out ChatGPT 4.0 and see, the performance we get from our agent. Now for the temperature, just leave this at 1. For semantic caching, I would leave it at true. Don't worry about anything else. For the knowledge base, if you are connecting a knowledge base, you can put it here, but you don't necessarily need that right now. Now for the voice, remember how we, chose Vapi.ai, so we want to choose that again. And then we're going to do filler, just leave that blank. And then provider, Vapi.ai, and then voice, pick the voice that you went with. So we went with Abby, so we're going to go with Abby there. Speed, I think you can just leave it blank. So we're going to leave it blank, but it will default to 1, I'm pretty sure. And then for the forwarding number, we don't really need that. First message, assistant speaks first. Recording enabled, we can leave that off for now. And then for all of that, we don't really need to mess with. We'll actually keep recording enabled as true. For silence type out, it has to be over 10 seconds. And then these have to be both 0.1 as we did in the advanced settings. And then the number of words to interrupt, let's just go with 2. Max durations again is 300. Background, it's up to you. I usually keep it off. And then just nothing there. And then we want to put the name of the assistant. So my name of the assistant is appointment booking CA. So I'm going to take that, copy, paste here. First message, we want to go here, copy, paste. Voicemail, you don't need that. Voicemail message, you don't need that. We can enable true, but don't put a voicemail. And then for the end call, we can just say goodbye. Thankful for your time. And then you want to add another end phrase and just do it goodbye. Now for the server URL, we'll just leave that blank because we're going to be coming back to that regardless. Now for the customer, we're going to be putting in the number that you want it to call. And then also their name as well. So my name's Hayden. That's my number. For the phone number ID, we want to get that from our Vapi account, which you can find in phone numbers. I'm going to be taking this one. So paste, copy that. Go back here, paste. Make sure within the OpenAI provider string that your max tokens are 500. Okay, or whatever tokens you want to use. So that's within the model. And then we're good to hit send. Now scroll down. Customer number must be valid. So you want to shoot the 1. Forgot that. So now once you hit send, it should be calling you. As you can see here, it's calling my phone. And you should get the correct JSON body, which we're going to be plugging in to Postman. So then once it works, you actually want to copy this on the right here, and you want to copy from down all the way here to make sure we're getting the right body. Don't copy this on the side. Okay, so that's the body that's going to work in our JSON request. So go to body, go to raw, and then go here. And then so it's saying this is wrong, but let's just take out some of the different things that might be wrong in here. So boom, now it's right. We're going to be going over to the get URL, and we're going to be doing this. And it's going to be a post request. And then for the headers, we're going to be doing content type, application JSON. And then we're also going to do the authorization. And then go and get your bearer key, which we got earlier. Our key. We also want to make sure that our bearer key is located here as well. And then let's hit send. So now we can see what's wrong. Non-white space at line 43. So yeah, you got to delete that. Make sure you don't have that. And then boom, it should be working. It should be calling my phone. You'll see it up here when it calls. Boom, it's calling my phone. So now we have to set that up in Make. And how we're going to do that is we're going to start with a custom webhook. Create webhook. Name outbound folder. Save. So once we create that webhook, now we want to connect it to our outbound agent, and we want to connect it to the use cases that we're going to be using it for. So in my case, I'm going to be getting leads in through a form, and I want to make outbound calls to them. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to integrate it within GoHighLevel to do exactly that. So we're going to take this webhook code, and we're going to hit copy and see how it's running. Make sure it is running and determining where it's going to get its data from. Now, for the trigger, we're going to do form submitted. We're going to do add form is, and we're going to do home sellers form. Okay, there's like 20 of them for some reason. And then we're going to do webhook. And we're going to paste that code right in there. Now we are going to add some custom data fields to make sure that we're mapping, the contact usernames, and we're actually getting the data out of this. So we're going to do first name, last name, phone, and then we're going to get their contact ID as well. So we just want to name this first name, last name, phone, ID. And we want to save that action. Now let's add a contact tag to call them immediately after they submit this form. So they're going to submit the form, and they're going to get a call from our agent. Now, the reason why we're going to test this workflow is to actually get some info into our webhook. So now it's going to receive that data, and it gets determined. So once we have that structure, let's just run it and see if we're going to get more data back. So this is us testing it. Now that we have our data redetermined, that we tested it, we ran it, and we have all this data within this webhook we can use, we're going to be going over to Vapi and making an outbound call. So search up Vapi, it should show up, and then connect your Vapi account. So to start off, we're going to go and grab the phone number ID with the phone number that we want to call from. And then for the customer phone number, we're going to grab that from what we just got within our webhook. And then for the customer name, we're also going to get their first name. Now for the assistant ID, you want to go over and get that assistant's ID right here. And you want to paste that in, hit OK, save, run, wait for new data, and we're going to submit this form again, and we should be getting an outbound call from Vapi through GoHighLevel, and it's all going to be mapped with the information from the call, right? So boom, incoming call. So that means it's calling me right now. I would pick it up, but I'm filming with my phone. But that is the full tutorial. And then once you get that phone, you'll get all this data back, right? So then you could take this data and you could either put it into a data storage. So I usually save all of the data that we're going to get into a data store. So as you can see here, this is all the data that we got from the call. And that is it, guys. So if you want to make outbound calls either with a transient assistant or a dynamic assistant, I just showed you step by step on how to do so. And we were using the Vapi app within Make to make it a lot more streamlined, a lot more easier to make your dynamic assistants a lot better by using this app. I've seen that, if I go through webhooks to transfer it, it doesn't work as well as going through the app. So that's what I suggest, and that's why I made this video. So if you have any questions, please let me know down in the comment section, or just message me if this held any value for you. And if so, please subscribe and let me know what tutorials you want to see next, because I am about to just release everything I know about Vapi, automations, for you guys to actually get your AI agency running, or for any business owners to kind of see the ins and outs of what goes into actually fully automating processes as well, and how much work and iteration and testing that actually goes into this. Now, if you are a business owner and you do want your backends fully automated, not only with the AI calling system, but also the appointment booking and many more AI agents within your business and more automations to fully streamline your client acquisition, then please click the link down below to speak with me personally or somebody on my team, and we can get your plan fully tailored to you and your back-end operations fully automated.